A lot of people think that shipping is easy. It's just taking boxes from a cooler and putting them on a truck. Nothing that we do in shipping is that easy. You know, the loaders have to pick the orders from bulk product. They have to select orders from customer specific products. Even in both of those categories, there's all different kinds of products to load. The trucks have to be loaded in a specific way depending on customer requirements. And there's a lot of paperwork to fill out when performing a load and shipping. So there's a lot more to it than just putting boxes on a truck. And I know when people apply for the job, they think, well, that's all I'm going to be doing, so this should be easy, and I get to ride a jack, so that should make it easier. There's nothing easy about doing this. If you're the type of person who likes to work where a job just goes A, B, C, and that's as simple as it gets, you're in the wrong place. We're very abstract in the way we work. We may be doing one job one way at a certain time and then turn around and have to do another job a completely different way. It's all based on the customer requirements. But we've got it down to a plan in shipping. And a part of that plan is just following the rules that we have. We've been at this for a long time and we've figured it out. Our first and most important rule is safety. Food safety and people safety, equally important. We don't want to damage the product and end up making somebody sick in the general public, so we really guard our food safety. We want our people coming in healthy and leaving healthy, and certainly leaving with all their parts. And when a safety incident happens, it happens in a blink of an eye, and we hear it anytime that it happens. It's almost always the same story. It happened so quickly I didn't realize it. So safety is very, very important. And we don't put anything in front of safety, not even getting the load out on time. If the load's going to be late because you have to perform it a little slower to be safe, then so be it. That's how we do it. Now, we just don't talk about things like safety and all the rules that we have in shipping. We also guard those rules. We have control measures in place to track everything that we do. Load control is a program we use to track all the cases that you put on a truck. We also use it to track any misships. A misship is when a loader puts a box on a truck that doesn't belong to the order or leaves something off of the truck that belongs to the order. Those are known as discrepant ships. We also track any damaged cases that are reported. It's one of our rules that you don't put anything that's damaged on a truck. Again, that goes against food safety, and it's not really good for the customer. We need to load these trucks in a prideful manner. When a customer opens up that trailer, we want it to look pristine. That goes right down to the pallet wrapping. Some people think that wrapping is not all that important, but that's a customer requirement. That pallet wrap has to be tight. There has to be enough wrap on the product, and it has to be from top to bottom. It protects it during shipping. It protects the boxes against moisture. And it keeps everything looking the way we want it to look, representing Purdue. So quality is another one of those job ones. It just has to be done to perfection. There's no reason not to do it. And again, if a load is not done in a quality manner, we won't do it to get it out on time. We will not do it poorly for the sake of getting it out on time. Customers would always rather have a load show up a little late and be of excellent quality rather than show up on time and be of poor quality. So we don't forsake one for the other. We will load by quality standards, and we judge that quality all along the way. We run a program in shipping called load control. Now, load control is pretty much what it sounds like. It controls anything and everything to do with a load. What time it docks out, what date it docks out. It helps the office control which load should be on the floor at any given time. It tracks how many cases any given loader puts on a load. Multiple loaders. It judges how fast they put the cases on the load, and it also handles the loader's evaluation. So every month a loader is evaluated based on the number of cases they move through the month, the number of misships they may have had, which will go against their score, and their speed. So those three averaged together give the loader their final score, and we post those results at the end of every month. And we do hold pretty tight to our metrics. There is no reason anybody working for us cannot hit the numbers or the goals that we've put in front of them. Now, if a loader does not necessarily hit his goals, or we need to have a little more education behind it, we handle that through a process called coachings. The coachings, while they may be documented, are not necessarily discipline. That's not how we use them. It's simply to say that management and associate had a conversation in an educational manner, and they documented it. So a loader, for example, may leave a box off of a truck, and we may decide to have a coaching about it to find out, well, why did it happen, and what can we talk about to have it not happen again? What plan can we put against it for it not to happen again? And that's educational. Now, these coachings may happen multiple times. Loader a month later may do the same thing and get a second coaching. That does not mean it's disciplinary. But if the loader continues to have the same behaviors, it could lead to disciplinary. So there's nothing wrong with having a coaching or multiple coachings, but it's not really good to be getting into the disciplinary arena. So we want to stay away from that. We'd rather have positive reinforcements, rather talk about our issues, get things figured out, and move on to a successful end. Another thing that plagues people working in any manufacturing or industrial environment is that there will be multiple shifts. And there's always a lot of shift-to-shift kind of arguing or friction. I'm happy to say in shipping we don't have a whole lot of that. And that's because we really treat it as one big shift with 3 parts. And most of our people have worked on any one of those shifts, multiple shifts, so they understand the stresses that another shift is under. And that understanding helps us stay out of that complaining what one shift might have done that another shift didn't do, and so on and so forth. So we just don't get into that kind of stuff. We have very good teamwork across all the shifts. Everybody's bonded very well, and they just understand that each shift sometimes does represent its own challenges. Day shift is a little lighter on commitment during the day, so they have a different commitment to the other shifts on what they're going to do during that time. Our second and third shift, we get more ramped up and need to get those loads out. So we just need to be focused on moving product to their orders in a timely fashion, and that's a core of what we do. If we have to define shipping in its totality, it's getting the right product to the right order in a timely manner.